What's up, everybody? I know I've been saying I was gonna upload some videos reviewing channels and stuff like that, but I haven't had time, and I feel like I just need to find a little bit more time to be able to make those type of videos. But I am going back to fishing, so it started to get warmer. That means more fishing activities and stuff like that. The fish are gonna be active, so it's gonna be easier to catch fish like that. I just don't go out there and don't catch anything and upload like a blank video. Anyways, so I actually wanted to focus on the fishing topic right now about like not how to fish, more like explaining this, what I will call it, like type of crisis and that's going on with a certain fish species. And if you know exactly what I'm talking about, I'm from New York City, and there's been a lot of information that I've been reading, like articles that I'm be getting on my phone about the striped bass, that there are being overfished, there are being poached a lot, and um they started to decrease population. So I feel like I want to focus, and I want to talk about that topic. The reason why I want to do that is because I actually been fighting myself for quite a long time, and I have called a few fishing friends about like trying to get an opinion about it, if I should make the video or not, and they recommended me not to do it. But because of, you know, there's people that are sensitive that go fishing and stuff like that, it's like I'm calling them out. It's not the fact that I'm calling them out, it's the fact that I'm trying to protect the fish species, especially if their population is going down. Because I have a son, now that I have a son, he's 1 year old, and he's gonna start, like, if he does like fishing, I'm not gonna say he's gonna start liking fishing, but if he does like fishing, I want him to have the chance to be able to fish the type of fish species that I fish for. I don't want it to tell a fish story that once in the blue there was this big fish that used to be caught before and now they're extinct. I don't want to do that. I would like the future generation, the future fishing generation, to be able to experience how to catch those type of fish, and in order to do that, we got to protect them. So the another reason why I wanted to do this video too is just because I wanted to explain more of where I've been seeing this illegal activities in the places that I fish. And it's something that, once again, that they, the people, my fishing friends, they told me to be careful about it. And honestly, out of the experience that I had during the time I was fishing, I think it's the right thing to do, even though certain people are gonna get angry, but I'm 100% sure what I'm doing, because I try. Probably people are gonna be like, "Hey, you should have called the wildlife protection park rangers, whatever you want to call them," and I have actually tried to reach the Department of Wildlife and stuff, and either they don't answer, or I don't think they care as much. The reason why I'm saying that is because most of the places I've been fishing with, you expect park rangers to be walking around, but you barely see them. And maybe it has a lot to do with the whole low budget, the city not doing anything, not having enough money for workers to be around, you know. So that's completely understandable. So I feel like it's up to the people like us that fish out there to report that. The reason why I say that is because when you get your fishing license, they explain, or either you get your fishing license or you get, to fish in private waters and dams and stuff like that, you need a special pass, an access pass. It explains to you, if you see any illegal activities, you should always report them. And that's something that I feel like as fishermen or fisherwomen, we should like enforce ourselves too. And it's like, how can I explain it? It's like when I went to fish in Kensico. If you're fishing over there, you can try to be skirty, or you want to like try to be sneaky and stuff, but maybe not that day, but at least there's rangers that pass by there, and they check for your fishing license and for your pass. So it has happened to me where I've been fishing, I didn't even notice them, you didn't even hear them, and they come out of nowhere. Or maybe because I'm just focused on fishing, where you just go, when you turn around, the police, the ranger's already there asking for your license. And they will call people from, like, if there's people in the boats, because you can't bring your own boat there. So you have to like have a certain permission. They have John boats right there chained up and stuff that you need the proper permission to use them. So if you don't have a John boat that is registered, or like it in their website they explain everything. But all I know is that you can bring your own boat. No motorboats are allowed there too. But if they see you out the water, they will call you in and they will tell you that. What else? But yeah, so yeah, going back to that topic that I told you about. So this is how I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna screen record the map in my phone, and I'm gonna start as I scroll into the phone. So if I'm not looking at the camera, I'm pretty sure I'm not looking at the camera. For some reason, I'm looking this way when the camera's over here. Anyways, so as I start explaining these things, I'm gonna start recording my screen on my phone. Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right. Why did I went to food? Anyways, so here we go. So where I fish most of the time, it's at Pelham Bay Park, City Island, and there's a lot of things that I have witnessed, including the illegal fishing and poaching. And it's sad. The reason why I say it's sad, because there are places that you're allowed to go, and there are places you're not allowed to go, that people still go in. Either they cut down fence, or they just hike around it and stuff like that. And I'm surprised, because there's a lot of ticks over there. I'm surprised there's still people that go through all those bushes and stuff like that. But yeah, so let's start off with a specific spot that kind of reminds me of that one video where they show they're poaching like dolphins, and they show massacres of like blood and shit. It kind of reminds me of that. So right here at exactly, let's see, this is where I'm trying to put it specifically, around here by this Pelham Bridge Road. And Pelham Bridge Road, you can actually park at this horse ranch, or whatever you want, a horse stall, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure, right, if I'm correct, but you can park there for like $10 for 24 hours. Or if you're going there at night, people park there. And most of the people that park there at night is because they're going fishing. And around this whole entire area that you see in Pelham Bridge Road, right now I'm zooming in, that little edges right there, all those edges that have open water, people fish there. And the reason why I'm comparing to that one specific documentary of the dolphins and the massacre and the blood and everything is because I seen in this area specifically people poaching fish. I have seen them keep up. First of all, in this area, the striped bass currently, you're supposed to keep them between 28 inches to 31 inches. You can't keep them any bigger, and you can't keep them any small unless you're near like in the Hudson River, if I recall. If it's still, because the regulations are slowly changing, so I think it's 18 to 28 near the Hudson River, depending exactly on the part of the Hudson River. I think going north is 18 and 28, and going south it goes back to 28 to 31. But right here specifically is only 28 to 31 inches. So in this area, I have witnessed a lot of fish gutting, and I'm not talking about legal fish. Like, I get it, it's one striped bass per season. I mean, one striped bass per day, and it's from between, once again, 28 to 31. And I have seen people keeping more than one striped bass. They'd be taking 5, they'd be taking 10. I kid you not, it's a horrible sight to see. There's people that are literally keeping females with eggs, where they gut them, and they will cut them in the area, they wouldn't even take the whole fish. They would literally, evidence is right there, evidence. And other than the fact that there's a lot of litter where people don't give a shit about trash, where they just trash the area, you can tell there's a lot of cans. There's your typical trash like food bags. When you go to a fishing, like a fishing store to buy bait, there's they sell you blowworms in boxes. You see boxes, you see plastics, you see plastic bags, all those stuff. So other than littering, you see fish guts, you see eggs. I actually did once walk on this carcass, and I'm pretty sure that striped bass was a female because I saw some type of egg on her, and it was just bone and everything. It's just horrible. I don't eat fish specifically, but I know people that enjoy eating fish. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, if you're going to fish the right way, and most of these people don't have fishing license, and a lot of people are not aware that whether you're a resident or not, you still can get a license. And saltwater license, I'm not sure for non-residents, but for saltwater license, it's free. There's nothing wrong with getting a license, especially when it's free. Saltwater, freshwater is like $31, but other than that, saltwater is free. So it's hard to believe that these people are going there illegally fishing without a license, and they're still permitted without no consequence, literally zero consequence, keeping any fish they want. I'm aware that bluefish, you can keep any size, you can keep as many as you want and stuff like that. But striped bass, if there's a limit to a fish, then follow that limit. And it's sad once again because it's horrible. Like, you see all these fish cuts, and another thing that I have witnessed to is the fact that there's certain people that go over there, and like I said, I'm Latin myself. Well, I don't know if I count Latin, but I come from Mexican family, and I have good friends that are from like Dominican Republic, Puerto Rican, even Ecuadorians and Salvadorians. I know all these type of Latin people, and even friends that are from the area, are from New York State. It doesn't matter who they are, because I've seen Asian people, I've seen Indian people fishing there and keeping fish this small, literally this small. Not just in saltwater, even in freshwater. A place that I call a place that I go fishing in Van Cortlandt Park. I've seen Indian families coming there with buckets of like fridge, like for like beer and stuff, and they will keep the sunfish and the largemouth when you're not supposed to even keep the fish from there, because one, it's illegal. Two, the water is not that clean. But you're not allowed to keep fish. If you're not allowed to keep fish, then don't fish there. And once again, people fishing without a license. I think that's why license is very important in certain places, because it allows you to not just educate yourself, because in the license it gives you the website to go to see what are the fishing regulations, especially now that we're in the future where we can click a link, look it up, and it will pop out and you will have to read it. So it's not that hard to keep yourself educated and aware of the laws and the rules of what kind of fish you can keep, how many fish you can keep, what size of fish you can keep, especially like porgy. Porgy, you can keep up to 30 fish from land, from shore, whatever you want to call it. And boat is a little bit more or less, and it has to be 9.5 inches and up. It's not even that small. 9.5 inches is not even that small, and you can keep them and up. Or 10 inches. I think they switched the regulation. I don't know, it's 9.5 or 10 inches. But like I said, you can go to it. There's an app for it. There's an app where I keep my fishing license just in case I need it, or just in case I need to show it. But anyways, going back to the specific topic with the striped bass, it's the fact that a lot of people don't understand and follow the rules. And I have experience where I've been kicked out in certain spots from either rangers or police, especially police. I actually had this one experience right here in City Island. Another spot that I'm gonna show you that I fish. Oh, right here where it says Turtle Cove. There's certain places you're not allowed to fish there, because there's like a gun range for police where they practice shooting. So That's for your own safety. That's literally for your own safety. Why are you going to fish where there's literally bullets flying? Why? You're literally risking yourself in danger, and it's illegal to fish there, but you guys still want to do it. Not everybody, but people still do it just for a fish. And the fact that nobody says anything, the fact that nobody's enforcing this, it's sad, because once again, we see a decline. I already read articles where in a few years close by, they could have put the striped bass in extinct. And I heard, and I already tried the striped bass, and it's a really good fish to eat. Once again, not a fish person, but it's a good fish to eat. It doesn't taste bad. And if you're aware of this, stop keeping undersized fish or oversized fish. Stop poaching. So right here between the Hutchinson River, Turtle Cove, all the way through City Island. Even I heard that people fish around City Island. So, and that's another thing. There's bait shops there. If you see that, if you're aware they're fishing illegally, enforce it. Enforce it too. I'm not saying it's their fault. They're trying to make business, but I feel like I should put the fishing regulation right on the. If I had a bait shop, I would have had fishing regulations just in case people don't know. And if they want, I want to say flyers, because I know people would take some and just trash the place, but just have a sign that just explain the type of fish that are around there and the regulations for it. And always like enforce the license too. And I know there's certain like tackle stores, bait shops where they give you your license, like they help you register for it. So anyways, right here, there's another place on this side where you can fish. So let me tell you experience. This is where I specifically fish, near the dock. You're not allowed to fish in the dock, but this area specifically, I once had this confrontation with this cop. There are rocks there, a lot of rocks throughout the edges. And in this specific spot, this cop came. And it was the first time, because I've been fishing there for almost 3 years. He came, and I never had this experience where he came to me and he told me, "You're not allowed to fish in the rocks." And I explained, and I asked why, and he explained to me that because it's a protected area where I guess certain fish come and lay their eggs. That's the way that he explained it. And I found that weird, because nobody has told me anything, and the fact that a cop is telling me that is kind of weird. And I think I did upload a video too, because this is the crazy part. I obey what he told me. I obey what he asked me to do. But before anything, I had a conversation with him where I told him, hey, if you are enforcing these rules in this protected area, are you aware there are people poaching for fish, keeping undersized fish and oversized fish? And the craziest thing, this was his response. And he was a Latin guy too, by the way. He was like Puerto Rican. Like, he was like a Puerto Rican cop. And this is what he told me. He says there are people that are hungry. There's people that want to eat. It shouldn't be wrong to keep fish if they want to feed their family. I completely understand that. But your job is not to think about, oh, they gotta feed their family. Okay, people do fish to feed their family. But a big fish can feed a big family. The right size fish can feed the right, like a family. But it is not an excuse to allow people to do that. And the fact that he told me that was crazy, because you're reinforcing a law for the area that's protected, but you kick me out on an area that I fished a long time. So if it is protected, I moved away. But here's the thing. A family came. This Ecuadorian guy came to. Well, he's like, I'm not sure, Ecuadorian, so I didn't know where he was from. He came to. And the family started fishing in the pier. And the other guy started fishing where I was fishing. The cop comes back, tells the family, you're not allowed to fish there in the pier. And the family already been casting the rods. He's like, oh, just catch a fish. Once you catch a fish, you move. I was confused. What the hell? You're supposed to reinforce the law. You told me to move. You didn't even give me a chance to catch a fish. I don't mind, because you told me to move. It's a protected area and stuff. Okay, let me obey you, but you don't reinforce it with them? That's kind of weird, and that's fucked up. And then the guy down there, he didn't say nothing to him. He saw him and didn't tell him anything. So I felt like, hey, he told me something. Let me go talk to this guy that is down here and explain to him that it's a protected area, right? If he's not gonna enforce it, I'm gonna help him reinforce it, right? As a fisherman with a license, I'm gonna help reinforce that law, right? That rule stuff. And I go talk to the guy and explain to him, hey, you're not allowed to fish here because they told me it's a protected area. I was fishing here earlier and they kicked me out. So I think you should be careful if like that you can avoid getting a ticket. What happens? The guy practically flipped me off and completely ignored everything I said. And once again, he's like, oh, I've been fishing here for a while. The cop did his rounds more than once. Never once told him anything. Did I feel like he had something against me? Kind of did, though. I don't look at like your typical fisherman, but it's like I kind of felt like I don't know how to explain it, but it was just weird. And I had my friend Evan pass by, and I explained to him what was going on. He's like, "Oh, that's fucked up." I think I had the video where I kind of take a picture of the guy that was fishing there, because he was telling me all this shit, and it was really pissing me off. And then because he wasn't catching fish over there, he moved towards where we're fishing, and he was casting over my line. Let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong with fishing with people, even people you don't know. But I think the number one rule when you're fishing with others around you, learn how to cast properly before you decide to cast there. The reason why I'm saying that is because sometimes there's people that are really fucked up that will fight you over stupid shit. And you have to be really careful because sometimes you meet up the craziest people. And the reason why I say that is because I have witnessed it. And the reason why I'm telling you learn how to cast straight is because there are people that just started fishing or don't know how to fish properly, where they will cast and they'll cross people's line. This guy, he kind of knew how to fish. The problem that I had with him is that he was casting over me. So let's just say my rod is here. This guy came, threw his line like this, threw his line like this, threw his line like this. To avoid crossing people's line, find your own spot. It's a big space, big area. All that area that you see there in the edge and the green, you can fish. Find a spot. Don't fish over people. Don't fish too close to people. Give yourself distance, because if you don't give yourself distance, sometimes the currents are so strong that they will drag your weight and you're going to end up in someone else's line. And learn how to cast far. The farther you cast, the easier it will be to reel in. And if you see someone like casting near you or close to you, just tell them before they cast up, before they set up, hey, let's give each other space. You don't say, hey, don't cast near me or don't fish next to me, because it's gonna sound like you're trying to keep the spot. Just tell them, hey, let's have this distance between you and me, because I don't want your line to get caught with my line. Because sometimes if you're fishing with braiding line, if it gets tangled, you have to cut the line or you gotta lose the line. So you don't want that. You really don't want that. And it has happened to me before. So anyways, and plus you need space to cast. So you can either cast and there's someone behind you so that you can hurt them and stuff like that, and it creates like this horrible place to, like, horrible dangerous spot to be in, because you can hurt them, you can hook them. I got a hook stuck in my finger before. So yeah, it's not fun. My hair is crazy. Anyways, like I was saying, we had to enforce these regulations. We had to enforce the rules and the laws. It's it's either up to the park rangers, and then it's up to us to reinforce this. Because once again, when you get your license, it explains to you that if you see any illegal activity, once again, I don't know why I'm looking here when the camera's there. We had to report illegal fishing. So if you're from the New York area and you love fishing, get your license. Saltwater is free. Freshwater is like $31. And look up the regulation. Follow the regulations. Because there's fishes like white perch that you can catch in the Hudson River that you can keep any size. And if I recall, I think they're considered invasive. and you can catch them all year around. Sometimes in the winter it takes a while, but you can still catch them. And learn how to properly fish. Respect other people around you. I know I'm gonna sound like a dick. I'm gonna sound like an asshole and stuff like that, but don't keep undersized fish or oversized fish. Let's protect this fish species, the striped bass and other fish species that may be going to extinct. Let's obey the rules. Let's obey the regulations. Let us protect it for the future fishermen or fisherwomen, because I meant women that fish. And let's enforce these rules. Let's enforce these laws and regulations. And if you see people not obeying, report. If you see that the park rangers are not, or the people in charge of your area, not enforcing these laws and regulations and rules, it's up to us to do them. It's up to us to even email them, call them. Like, let's do this. Striped bass season start at April 1st, or I forgot exactly. Don't listen to me on that. Just look it up. I'm pretty sure it's at around April something. But in April, striped bass season starts. Before the season starts, help me enforce these regulation and laws in these areas, in Ocean Beach, City Island, Pelham Bay, even in the Hudson. There's people that keep undersized fish. Inwood Hill Park, a great place to fish, a great area to start fishing. You never fished before? Inwood Hill Park is the place to go. Simple. You want to learn how to fish? You want to fish? Dude, you don't know how to fish? Hit me up. Comment in comment in my YouTube video. If you want to learn how to fish, I can teach you how to fish. This area right here in Inwood Hill Park is the perfect area to beginners to fish, because there's areas where you don't get stuck that easy. You just gotta know where to fish. Anyways, Inwood Hill Park, even here in the edges in Riverdale, by the Metro North stop, people fish there, and once again they keep illegal fish. Even right here in the waterfront in Yonkers, you can fish there. Near these fancy restaurants, you can fish there. Once again, there's people that keep fish illegally. I've seen this happen many a times. Let's enforce these laws. If you're not sure what kind of fish you can keep, or what kind of size and stuff like that, look it up. It's not that hard. We have phones, we have computers. But yeah, that will be the end of this video. I appreciate anyone that has stayed and watched the whole video and has listened to my concerns and other people's concerns about the striped bass and other fishing, other fish that we need to protect, and the regulations. So help me enforce these. Help me get this message to the park rangers, to the animals, wildlife protecting environment, whoever's in charge. Help me get this message out there in order to preserve these beautiful sea creatures, whatever you want to call them, for the future generation, for us and for others. Let's protect them. Let's make sure they're here for the future, like I said. So I'm glad I was able to make this video, even though it was kind of hard. I actually been debating that for a long time, like a year and a half already. And I'm glad that I made the video, and whoever's watching this video, thank you for staying, thank you for listening, and thank you for staying tuned, and help me enforce these laws and regulations. And always carry your, I always carry my fishing license on a tag, so carry it too. Always have your fishing license with you, and help me enforce these rules and regulations and stuff like that. So have a great morning or great night, wherever you're from, or wherever you're at, wherever you're watching, or what time you're watching. And stay tuned for fishing videos coming soon. Hopefully soon. I actually been trying to go to trial fishing. I just don't have a car. Trying to get my license still. But once everything else settle and I'm out there, you could start seeing more fishing videos. Thank you guys. Have a good one.